movie back in 1970 with Sean Connery. He played his grandfather in that movie, so pretty incredible. Anyway, this song is called The Day of the Rope. On June 21st, 1877, in the anthracite coalfields in the Pennsylvania hills, there were 10 Irish miners on a gallows standing by, and this would be known as the day they all died. Well, they said a rain of terror spread down from the mines into the local towns where somebody died. And what did they do? Were they the sons of the Mollies? Were they only a few? Could it be that they murdered? Or did they stand up and fight against the greedy coal barons and their powerful mind? And that was the day of the road. And that was the day they died. So the coal's black and dirty, just like some men's souls, and it burns with a vengeance for a miner against the law. Now those company men, well, they aim to settle the score. And those 10 Irish miners, they dropped through that gallows door. Even if they were the Mollies, then it doesn't mean a damn, 'cause they stand for all the miners who work throughout this land. Well, what were their names? And what did you do? Were they the sons of the Mollies? Were they only a few? Could it be that they murdered? Or did they stand up and fight against those greedy coal barons and their powerful mind? And that was the day of the road. And that was the day they died. Well, what were their names? And what did they do? Were they the sons of the Mollies? Were they only a few? Could it be that they murdered? Or did they stand up and fight against those greedy coal barons and their powerful mind? And that was the day of the road. And that was the day they died. And that was the day of the road. And that was the day they died. Country music, especially like Hank Williams Sr., weren't that really far from bluegrass. In fact, he played with an upright bass in his band in the early days. And so, anyway, we certainly like old Hank Williams Sr., so this song is called The Lost Highway, and at one point in the song, he says he's too lost to pray. So, of course, the Qualifier Ramblers don't stand behind that idea. It's never too lost to pray. Always time to pray. So, poor Hank Williams. May God rest his soul. This is for him. I'm a rolling stone, all alone and lost. For life of the sea, I paid the cost. When I pass by, all the people say, just a rolling night on the lost highway. Just a deck of cards fly makes a life like mine. On the day we met, I went astray, started rolling down that old highway. Just a lad, nearly 22, neither good nor bad, just a kid like you. And now I'm lost, too lost to pray, started rolling down that lost highway. Start to rambling round on this road of sin, heart sorrow bound. Take my advice, for you curse the day, started rolling down that lost highway, started rolling down that lost highway. It'll be unbroken.
So that hearse come crawling for to carry my mother away.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better on the waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Undertaker, please drive slow for this body that you're hauling. Lord, I hate to see her go.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better on the waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Well, I follow close behind her, try to hold on every breath. But I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in her grave.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better on the waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. And And so this song kind of reminds me of him a little bit, at least the subject material that he sung about. So this is a song we made up. We wrote it with our good buddy Tony Lipshaw, sitting back in the corner, and it is called Shot Heard Around the World. You ready for Yankee Doodle?
Get your horse to Lexington before the British leave. John Parker will be waiting with Minutemen who fight. We're gonna show those redcoats some Yankee Doodle mind. So the British kept marching arm to arm. Well, they had to get the Concord to find the hidden arms. Captain Isaac Davis has heard the alarm. We gotta stop those redcoats down at the Barrett Farm. Wielding muskets in hand. Well, they thought they'd all be damned if all they would rule this land. The price of freedom wasn't paid for in gold. It was paid for in blood as they shot her around the world. Yes, sir.
This band is now defunct, I guess. Brothers Comatose, called Dance on Your Grave.
When you're gone, no, it won't be long. I'll be there to put the nail in your coffin. Stars in the sky, ashes in your eyes. Every man must meet the day he dies. I wanna dance on your grave. Ain't no chance you'll be safe. I'll put the shovel to the ground and I'll dig 6 feet down where you lay. I wanna dance upon your grave. You done me wrong, wanna make things right. Close your eyes and step into the night. 'Cause when you're gone, no, it won't be long. Look that undertaker in the eyes and tell him what you have done. I want to dance on your grave. Ain't no chance you'll be safe. I'll put the shovel to the ground and I'll dig 6 feet down where you lay. I wanna dance upon your grave. shame, you'll be safe. Put the shovel to the ground and not dig 6 feet down where you live. I wanna dance upon your grave. I wanna dance upon your grave. Begins a shining, the Bluegrass All-Stars head for that dusty diamond. It was old Bill's baseball team, they drove from town to town. Well, they played more than just for music, at the plate and at the mound. It was Reno in the outfield, Clyde Moody on the mound, Chuck Wise at shortstop, and Aikman all around. First base was played by Bill, he and Cedric Porter Cox, Chubby Wise, Charlie Klein, was Wilkerson at bat. Well, take me back to those good old days when I could play and shout, swing, batter, swing. Get around, Jake Kearney in the outfield, short field covered ground. In one close game, the score was tied at 2. The other team had a runner. What did the All-Stars do? With their team still up to bat, a fly ball would be their fate. McPherson made the catch and got that runner at the plate. You're out! And that was the story of a baseball team. Their field was made of bluegrass, American dream. Well, take me back to those good old days when I could play. Shout, swing, batter, swing. Our friend Longacre Hollow, they were the first band to play out here at this Bluegrass Festival, and so we learned a song by listening to them. Really cool song, but real quick with it. So, of course, all fiddle players, when they progress to the level of learning the Orange Blossom Special, then you'd show up at a Bluegrass Festival or a fiddlers convention and play that song. But so many people played it, it seemed like they were starting to not allow you to play it for a fiddle competition. So people are coming up with different ideas about songs they could play. I don't know. I think that's where the song came from. It is Spanish in origin to it.
Yeah, Latin American.
Yeah, I believe so. And then Ron Howard, is that? No, he's a...
No, the guy that I learned the version from, something Howard, Ryan Howard.
Okay, Ryan Howard maybe made it real popular. Yeah. So anyway, I don't. How do you pronounce this song, Saxon?
Last time I learned it's
Randy Howard. Randy Howard. That's correct.
But the pronunciation is El Comanchero.
El Comanchero. Sure.
thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out here and supporting the second annual Pine Grove Lions Club Bluegrass Festival. So we love to help promote bluegrass in the community, and hopefully we can keep as many young people involved in it as we possibly can.
Expect to see you do it next time.
All right, and so to honor the Irish origins, the Scots-Irish fiddle tunes of bluegrass music, here we go with an old tune, really old. This one's called Whiskey in a Jar.
As I was going over the Cork and Kerry Mountain, I met with Captain Barrow, and his money he was counting. I first produced me pistol, and then produced me rapier. I said, stand and deliver, for the devil he may take ya. Mushering dum-a-doo, dum-a-die. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Oh! Woo! So I counted out his money, and it made a pretty penny. I stuck it in my pocket, and I took it home to Jenny. She said and she swore that she never would deceive me. But the devil take the women, for they never can be easy. Mushering dum-a-doo, dum-a-da. Black for the daddy-o, black for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Oh!
Tune is going to be an original piece. We had the opportunity to record this last year with John and some of his clan, and this was going to go for a Pennsylvania song, but I don't think the governor really said anything.
All right, here we go. 1, 2.
On a lonesome road in Pennsylvania, where the endless mountains touch the sky, and the fields of green along the roadside, a country folk wave home and pass them by. And there's beauty all around when the soul lays on the ground. In summertime when the robins sing their song. Oh, how I love my state of Pennsylvania, and my lovely country home. Yes, sir! Summertime here in Pennsylvania, basking in the warm summer sun, enjoying a picnic along the roadside, watching all the children having fun. And there's beauty all around when the soul lays on the ground, in summer when the robins sing their song. Oh, how I love my state of Pennsylvania, and my lovely country home. Yes, sir! It's a colorful time in Pennsylvania. All the mountains are colored from the trees. And see the deer that stand
happened. It's a historical event. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mud Run, but this actually happened. This was the Mud Run disaster of 1888. Mostly people coming back from Hazelton. There was 5,000 people that had to come back to Scranton. Now they're all coming back from temperance parades. Temperance parades at that time was held by the Catholic Church and women. So if you were a miner or an engineer or hard laborer at that time frame, you were always accused of drinking too much. So anyway, so this actually happened. This is a Mud Run train disaster of 1888. Gather round me, people, there's a story to be told about a wreck that happened 100 years ago. A story that was seldom heard heading back from Hazelton, ending up in a desolate place at the station called Mud Run. The temperance parade was over with 20,000 strong. The Irish miners took the pledge not to drink alcohol. The 2 trains were being boarded, 5,000 to get home. The valley had to borrow cars from the Valley Railroad. Mud Run, at the Mud Run station, at the Mud Run, at the Mud Run station. Remember this all happened at a station called Mud Run. Mud Run, at the Mud Run station, at the Mud Run, at the Mud Run station. Remember this all happened at a station called Mud Run. 2 steamers, just 2 police trains, 75 cars in all. They left a 10-minute intervals just to get the family home. Heading up a steep grade, they could move to an inside curve. Around the bend and the downhill slope to a station called Mud Run. The first train at the station, about 500 yards too short. Changing colors, red to white, went from red to white. Flagmen chasing lanterns just to put behind the train. Looking back at the switch, made a grave mistake. Approaching, and as the whistle blew, waving those lanterns, knowing nothing he could do, it telescoped the first car, and the second and the third. The sound of wood and steel, for 1 mile it could be heard. Mud Run, at the Mud Run station, at the Mud Run, at the Mud Run station. Remember this all happened at a station called Mud Run. Mud Run, at the Mud Run station, at the Mud Run, at the Mud Run station. Remember this all happened at a station called Mud Run. And as the morning sun arose, damage to be seen, massive twisted steel, and some cars down the ravine, and dead was some of the teenagers from a dump in the mule floor. With a few Irish miners, they'll work the mines some more. So if you've done it, take the pledge not to drink alcohol. You might consider the advice of friends. From the wreck people saw, the leader shot her 2 of whiskey. There's a gruesome task at hand. Just remember, this all happened at the station called Mud Run. Mud Run, at the Mud Run station, at the Mud Run, at the Mud Run station. Remember this all happened at a station called Mud Run. Mud Run, at the Mud Run station, at the Mud Run, at the Mud Run station. Remember this all happened at a station called Mud Run. Remember this all happened at a station called Mud Run. There you go. This always reminds me of the days of Mayberry. For some reason or another, it just does. Oh, you get a line, I'll get a pull, honey. You get a line, I'll get a pull, babe.
Coal Fired Ramblers for assisting us, being
Yeah,
half of our band is not around to be here today.
They're all
Thank you for letting us
vacation.
play with you guys.
Thank you to this place, to everybody
Yes, thank
here for coming out.
Even though
Thank you
it
for
rained.
having us. Appreciate that.
Needed a little rain, but I think we've had enough. We can have some more sunshine. Maybe doing these gospel songs will help the sunshine.
Maybe. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Well, I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels were coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. That's right. Well, I'm sometimes up and I'm sometimes down, coming for to carry me home. But still I know that I'm having me down, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. So if you get there before I do, coming for to carry me home. Tell all my friends that I'm coming too, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Yes, sir. Swing low, sweet chariot, come on, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Very catchy little song. It took me 10 minutes to learn this all together. And you guys
That's
can
good
sing-
for his age.
So you guys can sing along too. It's very, very simple. It's an old-timey tune. It was made quite famous by Pete Seeger. This is called Worry Man Blues. Ready? Ready? It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. Well, I swam across the river
and I fell fast asleep. I swam across the river, and I fell fast asleep. I swam across the river, and I fell fast asleep. When I woke up, there were shackles on my feet. Here we go! Oh, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. Yes, sir! Well, there's 28 links of chain around my leg. There's 28 links of chain around my leg. There's 28 links of chain around my leg. But every link was the initials of my name. Here we go! Well, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. That's right. So I went up to the judge, I said, what would be my fine? I went up to the judge, I said, what would be my fine? I went up to the judge, he said, what would be my fine? He said to me, 10 years on the mountain line. Here we go! Oh, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. That's right. So I went up to the tracks and looked as far as I could see. Went up to the tracks, looked as far as I could see. I went up to the tracks, looked as far as I could see. A little man was waving back at me. Oh, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long.
How fast should I go? Medium?
Go medium, yeah.
Well, we'll go 100 miles an hour.
No, don't do that.
night I'm far from the Blue Ridge Mountain, far away, high over the hills. Those Blue Ridge Mountains of memory, they haunt me still. There's a bluebird singing in the Blue Ridge Mountains. They're calling me back to my home. Oh, I can hear those bluebirds calling. They're calling me back to my home. Yes, sir. When I reached my home, I was so lonely. The one I loved had gone away. And he was dead, right from her mother. And she was sleeping beneath the way. There's a bluebird singing in the Blue Ridge Mountains. They're calling me back to my home. Oh, I can hear the bluebirds calling. They're calling me back to my home. They're calling me back to my home. Sometimes when you pick up on an old song, it kind of catches the ear, and it's like, it's one of those things where you have to have it because it's got a great story behind it. So I'm gonna play you this tune here. This is called Last Hobo. He was born in International Falls a long, long time ago. Who moved to Tucumcari when the iron work got slow. He was poor, fed, and hard scrapping, scratching for every dime. But he threw it in the hit road that was this high. And he's the last hobo on the last boxcar, on the last freight train leaving here. And he's the last hobo on the last boxcar, on the last freight train leaving here. Well, he tried his hands at lots of jobs, and he did them all with pride. Chewing mules to driving trucks, that's what he tried. But it must have been Ramona, she was all he cared about. When she up and left him, you could see the fire go out. And he's the last hobo on the last boxcar, on the last freight train leaving here. And he's the last hobo on the last boxcar, on the last freight train leaving here. When Nolan said he knew him, that he'd only stop and stay a day or two. He would ask about Ramona, but he said that he was only passing through. Now he knows every railroad boss along the right of way, every railroad jungle from New York to Santa Fe. But he looked for his Ramona from the far side of the hill. And the sun is sinking lower, and he's looking for her still. And he's the last hobo on the last boxcar, on the last freight train leaving here. And he's the last hobo on the last boxcar, on the last freight train away from here. Made quite a big impact back in the 60s. tell you why. You got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road, and it's sinking. Yeah. Well, take a whiff on me, that ain't no road. Roll up your window and hold your nose. Don't have to look, you don't have to see, 'cause you can smell it in your factory. You got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road, and he's thinking I have no thank you. Well, you got your dead cat and you got your dead dog. On a moonlit night, you got your dead cold frog. You got your dead rabbit and your dead raccoon. Blood in the dust, you're gonna make you swoon. You got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road, and he's thinking I have no space. You got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. He's in the middle of the road, and he's singing I have it in Technicolor. It didn't have many people in it. Probably about 500 miners, maybe 500 at best. Since he... Ready? Ready? Yeah, notice how Bonnie plays the riches.
I have all the noisy instruments. After that, then you can go off the
Yeah,
guitar.
9/16 and 5/8.
You're only one right on one.
Together again.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm good, Dave.
Where the breaker once stood over at Cricket Town. 500 plus miners that work underground, making a living off 10 precise holes, giving their wages to the company's gold. But they're not mining coal here anymore. Only the foundation where the breaker used to be. Old photographs of miners near the general store, and then your plans of living memory. Somewhere the Irish battalions of old, young boys work the breaker at 7 years old, at 10 cents per hour with coal in demand, 124 tons per man. But they're not mining coal here anymore. Only a foundation where the breaker used to be. Old photographs of miners near the general store, and adjutants of vivid memories. We went to a party at my neighbor's house. Me and the neighbor's wife were in the kitchen all alone. She was making biscuits while I was making time. Party yeah, with that little wife of mine. Leftover biscuits, leftover ham, leftover gravy, and an old frying pan. Leftover coffee, leftover me. Now I'm all alone, but she done left over me. Leftover biscuits, leftover ham, leftover gravy, and an old fried pan. Leftover coffee, leftover me. Now I'm all alone, but she done left over me. And now I'm all alone, but she done left over me. Band's here. Way over on my left side is my sister-in-law Dee, my wife Bonnie. She's not responsible for me. I'm Dave, and John is behind me here, and Elijah's over here, and Saxton's over there, and Chris is way yonder, and God knows who else we got up here.
They said half of our group is on their anniversary vacation.
Yeah, their anniversary vacation. Two more you want? You do, huh? Okay. So, here's another sing-along for you guys. And I'm going to listen to you sing to me, too. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the tree, younger than the mountain, flowing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, oh, take me home down country road. All my memories gather round her, finest lady, baby blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eyes. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mama, oh, take me home down country road. I hear a voice in the morning hours, she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that it should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, oh, country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, now Mama, oh, take me home down country road. Go ahead, boys. Here's your turn. Oh, country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountains, Mama, oh, Mama, take me home down country roads. Oh, country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, oh, take me home down country road. Feel free to sing out. You know this. You're welcome to sing along. We always encourage that. Sometimes when I'm feeling lonesome, no one on earth seems to care. I'm all by myself in the darkness, with no one and nothing to share. But just when it seems like it's hopeless, that I'll never make it alone, I hear a voice through the silence that's tenderly calling me home. Home, come on home. Ye who are weary, come home. Softly and tenderly calling. Home, come on home. Well, I try to keep it together, and I never let on that I'm scared. But sometimes when I fall to pieces, scattered and lost everywhere, just when it seems like it's hopeless, I'll never make it alone, I hear a voice through the silence that's tenderly calling me home. Home, come on home. Ye who are weary, come home. Softly and tenderly calling. Home, come on home. Don't be afraid of the darkness, and don't run away from the storm. Stand up and face your reflection and feelings you try to ignore. 'Cause after the tempest is over, and you let yourself go on through, you'll hear the voice behind you, tenderly calling to you. Home, come on home. Ye who are weary, come home. Softly and tenderly calling. Home, come on home. Home, come on home. Ye who are weary, come home. Softly and tenderly calling. Home.